Hey YouTubers, thanks for checking into the video today. Today's lure review is going to be on the Lucky Craft Slender Pointer 112 MR. Alright guys, so 112 millimeters from there to there, so end of tail to its head. And they come in a couple of different lengths. You've got a 97, this is the 112, and then you've got a 127 as well. Alright, so this particular version here, the 112 is going to be, they're all suspending models, and they suspend in the water really well, straight out of the package. You know, a lot of suspending baits, they'll either slowly sink or slowly rise. But yeah, with this particular model, it does stay suspending really well straight out of the package. It features number 5 Daiichi hooks, Japanese manufacturer of hooks. They're not so sort of like famous or really big like Owner or Gamakatsu or some of your other bigger hook manufacturers there, but they've got a pretty good reputation in Japan, and it seems like a lot of the Japanese anglers use them a bit there. They're quite well known there. Alright, so the weight of it here is ½ ounce, and in terms of the length, it equals to like 112 millimeters equals to about 4.5 inches there. Alright, so with this particular bait, it is a style of jerk bait or rip bait. It's the MR in the name stands for about mid-running. It'll dive to about 4 to 5 feet, depending on certain conditions, what line you're using. And yeah, this particular color here is called the MS American Shad. So the MS in the name there implies that it does have these stuck-on holographic scales there. I'll give you a closer look. Those stuck-on holographic scales that have been stuck on probably more than likely obviously after the paint job, but maybe just under the clear coat. So you can see them sort of ripping off on that angle there. They do have a tendency to rip off, and over time, due to hooks touching, like hook rash and hooks touching them, they tend to rip off quite easily the more you use these MS sort of scales there. Alright, so a bit of writing for you there. So information, it says Slender Pointer 112 MR. You can just see the Slender there. They've written it real small. Alright, so with the Slender Pointer, it was originally created for, you obviously don't have to use it for this application, but it was targeted and marketed towards anglers who are wanting to target smallmouth bass, because they, you know, the pointer itself is a really popular jerkbait, and I think for a while they needed, you know, there was a demand for a more thinner profile bait here. So it is smaller in its profile there, and it is a little bit smaller in its profile here compared to the regular Lucky Craft pointer. Cool, what else do they know about it? Alright, it's got a weight transfer system in here. So you can hear those tungsten ball bearings there falling to its tail, making it tail heavy. It's going to be a little bit easier to cast that way. And when you start jerking it, the weight system is going to fall to the front, or to about the middle there, to its belly. So it's going to be able to pretty much float, suspend I should say, about that shape. You know, a lot of baits are actually head first like that, but yeah, this particular jerk bait, it's about there. So yeah, Lucky Craft have advertised that it's quite horizontally suspending there. Alright, so moving into the physical aspects of this particular color anyway, I went with this color because I really like it's a nice combination between like somewhat like a natural look, like a shad look, and it's really nice looking. Like the American Shad series looks like heaps awesome. So with this particular color, it's going to be a darker back here. It's actually got a lot of different like paints through this particular lure. It's got here like, it's almost like this really dark brown on top. and then it moves into like this blue on the side, so it might have been painted blue all there, and then that dark brown over it. Moving on to the sides, it starts to move into a holographic foil design there. Okay, with a lateral line there. If you can just see on maybe that angle there. And diamond shaped etched scales with those near vertical lines at the bottom there. And then, but the body itself, even if these MS scales were not stuck on, this particular color, the body itself is holographic, and then you get your really like heaps holographic looking MS scales there, which are really stand out. They give a lot of flash, these lures. So as you're, if you're to jerk it, as that's moving through the water, you can see how much flash that's creating there. 3 times, like I said, Daiichi number 5 hooks. They're nickel color hooks. Split rings are your regular sort of steel colors. They're like this really nice, like sort of like flattened split ring, which is pretty cool. Sorry, I'll show you over there. There we go. It's like that flattened design as opposed to just a circular tube that's been rolled there into a split ring. So yeah, the flattened sort of style. And moving on to the front, it's actually got a oval split ring there. Alright, so much easier for tying your line. Mid running bib, it actually looks more like a shallow running bib as well, but I mean they call it the MR, so it must run a little bit, it does run a little bit deeper than a top water style shallow running jerkbait. 3D raised gill plates, you can see how they're raised over there on that angle. Bit of etching in here as well, and of course 3D eyes as well. Black with that silverish multicolored holographic sort of design there around the edges there. Alright, so that's the physical aspect of that particular bait. It does cost on Tackle Warehouse $19 US. And is there anything else that I can go over with? No, that's pretty much it. It's based on the ever so popular Lucky Craft pointer series, but yeah, just in case you needed a more slender profile, chasing certain species that need that thinner bait. Oh, one last thing that I will show you is the box itself, so just in case you guys need to see, pretty much, here we go, a lot of your Lucky Craft USA series lures are going to come in this like looking box here. And if I move that a bit closer, you can see it's a Slender pointer and a bit of information there, guys. I'm not going to go through that, read it. And that's what the back of the box looks like. So you're going to be getting that. So look for that in your tackle store. Lucky Craft, I know it says Lucky Craft USA. It's just the USA series. Lucky Craft is a Japanese brand, and they're still made in Japan with these particular lures right here. Alright guys, I'll catch you around next time. If you got any questions, please comment below. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more reviews in the future, and give me a thumbs up if you appreciate the video. Thanks guys, I'll catch you around next.